Hey gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing some fragrances that I have been completely obsessed with. I mean, some of these are older, but I feel like I've fallen in love with them all over again. And then I have some new favorites that have just captivated me on another level. If you're interested in some good old fragrance chat, then please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it over here with me. If you're new here on this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey like this video. I sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle here and there, and in every single video, I share some encouragement. If any of those things sound good to you, then I would love to have you join the family, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. So the first fragrance I wanted to talk about today is an oldie but goodie. I pulled this out recently and I remember why it captivated me so much when I first smelled it. It is beautiful. It was released in 2022, so I want to say it's not old, but in this era of tons and tons of perfume releases, this might be an oldie but goodie. However, it is still just as impressive as when I first purchased it. This is Black Opium Le Parfum by YSL. This is the only Black Opium that I own, and it is the only one that I was truly drawn to because this one is centered around vanilla.
Black Opium Le Parfum has mandarin orange, cinnamon, and pear at the top. At the heart, we have jasmine and orange blossom. And at the base, we have 4 kinds of vanilla: bourbon vanilla absolute, Tahitian vanilla absolute, and Madagascar vanilla orchid absolute, along with coffee and patchouli.
What I absolutely love about this vanilla is that it is very, very grown up. What I feel makes this vanilla fragrance so unique and so interesting is the fact that it has a cinnamon note at the top, and then it has a very lush white floral accord, which I love, and then it has 4 different kinds of vanilla. I would also add that the pear that's at the top of this fragrance is very beautiful as well. It's really juicy and fruity, so this gives fruity, juicy, subtly spicy. It's a warm spicy. There's a warm floral in here, and then it has some really high quality smelling vanilla. It doesn't smell artificial, and I would not call this a gourmand fragrance, even though it has such a huge dose of vanilla. Instead, this one feels very polished, very put together, very grown up. It gives sophisticated, it gives sexy, it even gives a little bit of depth and mystery, in my opinion. So this is something I would whip out for a date night because of how it comes across. It comes across as very sexy, very sophisticated, very put together, and overall it is so elevated. This is Black Opium Le Parfum. Speaking of sweet fragrances, this next fragrance is a sweet one, but this one is definitely what I would call a gourmand. It smells just like food. This is Lattafa's Eclaire Banoffee. So aside from Eclaire Banoffee smelling just like a banana cream pie, this fragrance is so light. It doesn't feel heavy or cloying or dense, and it projects at more than an arm's length for several hours and leaves the most beautiful and fluffy scent trails so that whenever I leave a room, my scent still lingers in the air. This is so good in terms of performance. And for that reason, this one is a compliment getter. People love the scent of this fragrance on me. So if you're not someone that enjoys really super sweet, dense, cloying, heavy fragrances, this one, while it is very sweet, is not dense or cloying or heavy. It remains very light and bright. And this is overall what I would call an uplifting fragrance. I absolutely love the way that the banana and the dulce de leche come across. It comes across candy-like in the opening, so it's not like you're just pure banana. It has a candy feel to it. And then you start getting those lactonic accords at the mid of this fragrance. So if you're not into lactonic fragrances, you may not like this one because it definitely feels creamy and whipped, and that is because there's a vanilla and a whipped cream at the mid of this fragrance. This fragrance also hits us with a praline at the base, and praline feels sticky and sweet. It has nutty facets and sometimes even chocolate. So this fragrance is definitely sweet and food-like. However, like I mentioned, that musk that is at the base does its job in keeping this fragrance very bright and airy and uplifting. This is Eclaire Banoffee by Lattafa. This next one is probably not in season in most places. However, I live in a very, very hot and a humid state where currently it is getting hotter. The heat has been creeping back up on us, and sadly, I kind of feel like winter is in the rear view. So fragrances like this one have been catching my eye, and when I pulled this one out the other day, I remembered why it gave me hard eyes in the first place. This is Sun-Kissed Goddess by Kilian. This one is a pretty pricey niche fragrance, and in general, I'm not a Kilian girly. However, this one right here really caught my eye when it first released. I believe it released last year, and I could not get enough of this fragrance. And as evidenced by the huge dent in this perfume, you can see how much I love it. It is so good. This fragrance has a lot of things that I absolutely love in perfume. So it has a gorgeous lush white and yellow floral accord. It's sweet, it's tropical, it's fruity, and it's subtly lactonic. It is so many of the things I love about perfume in a single fragrance. It's so good. I forgot to mention that the previous two fragrances are fragrances that I would consider unisex. I think anyone can wear them and enjoy them, and I feel the same about this one. So this one does not come across as overly feminine. It's something that I can smell on a man and a woman, but if I were to pick a side, I would say this one leans slightly more feminine. However, I think this one can be classified as unisex. So it doesn't feel like your run-of-the-mill tropical scent. This feels like a luxurious tropical body oil on vacation in Bali or St. Bart's or some such beautiful destination. It smells so elevated. Oh, I love this perfume. It's not overly sweet. It doesn't smell synthetic. The florals don't feel waxy. Instead, everything in this fragrance is beautifully blended and it smells so expensive. Next time you're at your department store or a Sephora, I would highly recommend getting your nose on this one because it is just a very refined take on a tropical fragrance. This is Sun-Kissed Goddess by Kilian. And last but certainly not least is a newer fragrance to my collection. This is Ria by Kardlage. So Ria came in and really swept me off my feet when I least expected it. When I first received this fragrance, I sprayed it out and I wasn't sure what to think about it. At first blast, I could immediately tell I was not getting what this fragrance is truly supposed to convey. So what I did is I sprayed this out some more and I waited a little bit before revisiting it to get the true scent.
Ria has cherry, mandarin orange, raspberry, and strawberry at the top, grapefruit and musk at the heart, and blackcurrant and patchouli at the base.
I am so glad I gave this fragrance time before coming to a conclusion about it because it has blossomed and it is so gorgeous. It's juicy, it's fruity, it's fresh, and it also feels floral. Even though there are no floral notes listed, it feels a bit floral to my nose, kind of like a peony. It smells very beautiful. This one is super duper feminine leaning in my opinion, and it just feels very regal, very polished, very put together, and it's one of those fragrances that also feels approachable. I feel like this is a crowd-pleasing type of scent and one that people love to smell on me. So this is one that I would pull out if I were going to like a brunch and I was all dressed up, if I were going to a business meeting that was during the daytime, maybe a shopping date. This is the kind of fragrance I would pull out. It just feels so classy. It's so beautiful. I've talked about it in several videos now, so I'll link a video where I've talked about it previously here. I am totally obsessed. This is Ria by Kardlage. Really quickly, I have one last honorable mention. This is Burberry Her Elixir. Nowadays, I don't purchase too many designer fragrances, so this is another designer fragrance that I feel was worth the money.
Her Elixir has strawberry and blackberry at the top. At the heart, there's jasmine, and at the base, we have amber, vanilla, and sandalwood.
This fragrance is literally that girl. If you love fruity notes like strawberry, if you love lactonic fragrances that feel very creamy, but have the same characteristics that Eclaire Banoffee has, where the fragrance is very bright and uplifting and comes across fresh, and this one even comes across a little powdery, I would highly recommend getting your nose on this fragrance. It is so good. The performance gets better with time. So when I first got it, it was giving me moderate projection and it lasted for maybe about like 6 hours or so. But now that it's a bit older, it lasts so long to the point that I wear this to go work out and I always get compliments on this fragrance and it lasts the entire workout. I'm talking a heated class like a hot Pilates class or something like that. This one is so good. This one smells so fresh and so vibrant and juicy and very feminine. It smells fun, it smells flirty. However, I would still wear this one when I'm dressed up and put together because it also feels very polished and very classy. It is such a pleasant fragrance. It's so friendly, fun, flirty. Burberry Her Elixir is and will always be that girl when it comes to feminine leaning designer scents. And this one is a year-round scent because of how it comes across. Very bright, fresh, slightly powdery, juicy, and also sweet. It is definitely a very versatile year-round type of scent. Okay friends, so we've come to the end of the video and I just want to say thank you for still being here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up on your way out. That helps my channel continue to grow. And if you're here and you love fragrance content, I make lots of it over here, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to turn on your notifications so you never miss another upload. Also, don't forget to check out my newest publication. It's a devotional that is meant to help you glow up from the inside out, and it's a 30-day journey broken up into 4-week blocks. There's scripture, a reflection, a wellness practice, and a prayer, as well as lines for you to journal for every single day for the next 30 days. It's not numbered and it's not dated to make it easy for the busy woman on the go to maintain and nurture her relationship with Christ. So if that sounds good to you, all of the details will be in the description box towards the top. It is available on Amazon, Etsy, and my website, fitnessprincess.co. Thank you so much to everyone that has supported so far and picked up your journal. My prayer is that it is adding value and enriching your relationship with Christ. Before I go today, I just want to remind you that no matter what you are going through today, you are loved and you are covered by God. I know that as humans, we can get distracted and become hyper-focused on our problems, but God reminds us over and over again in His Word how good of a shepherd He is. I was reading Isaiah 40 verse 11 and it really reminded me of how covered and safe and loved I am by God. It says He will tend to His flock like a shepherd. And when you think of a shepherd covers their flock. They guide them, they protect them, they correct them, they keep them from danger. It also says He will gather the lambs in His arms. It then goes on to say He will carry them in His bosom. And over again in the Bible, we see imagery of God being a shepherd. And one of the things that we can observe about sheep is that they do not stress about much. They very much rely on a good shepherd to take care of them. And that is what God wants us to do. So whatever issues you're faced with today, whatever you're going through, I would encourage you to give it to God. Spend some time in prayer, even if it's a few minutes, and verbally cast your cares onto Him. Tell Him what's worrying you and ask for wisdom and guidance, and watch how God continues to cover you, just like the good shepherd that He is. As always, I will be over here doing the exact same thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye!